On day 7 of our Irish road trip, we left County Sligo and headed to County Donegal, the northwestmost county in Ireland. Named the coolest place on earth in 2017 by National Geographic, a third of Donegal is official Gaeltacht, where native Irish language is still spoken. It also has the lowest population density in Ireland and is the start of the Wild Atlantic Way. We traveled up to Downings on Sheephaven Bay, where Chris was playing golf at Rosapenna that day. Speaking of sheep, we saw a lot on the way, so Chris is here to answer your burning question. Why do they paint sheep?
Different farmers may use a common field to graze their sheep with others. How do you tell them apart at the end of the day? Well, farmers will use a special spray paint to apply a splotch of color on the flock to differentiate their sheep from another farmer's sheep. It's similar to branding, as each farmer uses his own personal brand that the other farmers in the area recognize. The brand consists of the color and the location of the marking, whether it's on the side, hip, shoulder, etc. Color markings on the back are something totally different. I've read that during the mating season, the rams are outfitted with a special belted device that fits around the chest. The belt holds a crayon marker. The marker will identify if the ewe has mated and which ram she mated with.
The markings do wash out, and if you know more about this than we do, which is a good chance, feel free to leave a comment below. Sheep were merely embarrassed and not harmed in the creation of this video. After dropping Chris off to play the Old Tom Morris course, I was behind the wheel on my own for the first time. Destination, Mount Errigal. So this is the road that I'm taking to Mount Errigal from Rosapenna Golf Course. And it's a single lane. I met a giant Massey Ferguson tractor just a little bit ago on it. Very picturesque, but very desolate. You can see the mountains there. Pretty much nothing out here, but it's beautiful. Mount Errigal is the southwesternmost and highest peak of what are known as the Seven Sisters, standing at 2,464 feet or 751 meters. The Seven Sisters are in the Derryveagh Mountains and part of the Glenveagh National Park. Nearby Dunlewy is the starting point for the Seven Sisters Skyline Ireland, arguably one of the toughest mountain races in the world. The course covers all 7 peaks over a choice of either 18.5 miles, 30K, or if you're really an overachiever, 34 miles or 55K. I'll put links below if you happen to be free in September and this appeals to you. You can see Mount Errigal behind me here. I've arrived safe and sound, and it's a little damp and a little breezy, but not terrible. So we're gonna head up. See you at the top. So this first part of it is crushed stone with some rocks in between. There's a pretty little waterfall over there. And it's very well marked. Pretty easy to begin with, but I have a feeling it's gonna get a little tougher. So this is the view from about halfway up the base of the mountain. You can see our cars down there. There's some mixed sun and clouds. And we're getting there. So now I'm actually around the side of Mount Errigal. We'll see the view here. There we go. And there are these little rubber catwalks across the bog here in places and some stone steps. The rest of it's a gravel path that goes up and down, but don't fool yourself. You're climbing. Can't see the parking lot from here. It looks like a great day for a hike. So the wind's starting to pick up a little now and the clouds are moving in, but there's blue sky right there. And you can see some people walking up the ridge there. So we'll see how this goes. So you can see that the path here winds through this little valley and it goes up to the ridge and across. I think you can see some people up there on the ridge maybe. So I'm a little bit out of breath now. I'm getting ready to start the ascent to the ridge, which is pretty short. Then you go across the ridge and up to the top ridge. I'll show you what that looks like. So here's the ascent to the ridge. And you see, we're gonna go across there. And then you see these little bitty things up here. There are people up there, right up there. Okay, and some people climbing the ridge there. So this is the view from the beginning of the ridge. It's a nice little loch over there. And here's Mount Errigal. The peak on the left is actually the summit. And there's a very narrow saddle between them, and then the next one is a little lower. Not planning on doing that narrow saddle between. Just don't feel the need. The terrain got progressively rockier and more difficult, but there were amazing views, especially when the sun popped out. So I'm up to the first ridge. I think I've got about as far as I can go, given the fact that I did a minor pull to a hamstring, and it's not going to let me go up this far up to the top ridge there. The year before, Chris and I had climbed Flat Top Mountain in Alaska with our son and grandson. It's about the same height as Errigal, but Mount Errigal is half the linear distance to the top, so that makes it twice as steep. We had the experienced company of our son and grandson. Being on my own at Errigal, though, I wasn't confident that my hamstring would hold up on the way down. I didn't want to be stupid, and I had no desire to add a mountain rescue to our vacation videos, exciting as that would be. So I think we're done for today. But it's a great view, good exercise. So we're going to call it a day and head back down. I can finally see my car from here. So even if you don't go all the way up to the summit, this is why you should hike to Mount Errigal. but it was time to go pick Chris up in Downings after his golf game. I drove the N56 up to where it became the Wild Atlantic Way, through Dunfanaghy and around Sheephaven and Clonmess Bay. As the Wild Atlantic Way became R245, I passed a viewing spot for Doe Castle. Built in the 1420s, it was the home of the McSweeney clan. Surrounded by water on 3 sides and a moat on the 4th, it was an outstanding example of a fortified castle. It's steeped in legends of romance, tragedy, and ghosts, involving a couple sometimes called the Irish Romeo and Juliet. But remember, in Ireland, legends and myths rarely end happily. So that's it for our day on Mount Errigal in Donegal, Ireland. If you'd like to see more of this second half adventure, be sure to hit like and subscribe. And we'll see you again next time.